everybody, and welcome to our last pop-up session for this year. It is the last one, and topic for today's session will be the alternative heat sources that we can use. And of course, I would like to introduce the people who are with me here today. On one hand, this will be Dietmar. He will be answering all the questions that are concerning the roasting on the different machine, because he has done a lot of trials. And of course also Julian is here with us again. So we will be talking about the alternative heat sources that we have besides the all conventional gas that we all know. And just to show you a little bit more, we are here in our newly set up showroom. So we see all the perfect roasters lined up, the P5s, 2 of them of course, we will talk about that a little later, and also P12 and the UG22. So just in case you would like to come over and see our new showroom, go ahead, feel free and come by and visit us. Yeah, we just saw a little movie where we actually had 3 of the same roasters next to each other. Same would be, it was all P5, so batch size 5 kilogram, and 3 because we did not only have the gas heated machine, but also had 2 different ones. And we want to talk about the different methods we can use. And on one hand, this will be electrical heating. This is also what we have here. And we did a lot of roasts also on this baby already. And of course, the newly introduced hydrogen roaster. So this would be the 2 main alternative heat sources that we can use and that we also had tried out here in Emmerich so far. Is there a special reason why people think more and more about the alternative heat sources?
Yes, to be honest, there are plenty of reasons. Yeah, just to sum up a little bit. So in the past, it was more or less pretty easy because we just had one version. We had the gas version, which was splitted into natural gas and propane, of course. So, and yeah, we are always looking for the newest kind of technology and what is possible. So that was the reason why we presented last year our P5E. And that is also, yes, this one, this beauty, yes, exactly. And that is also the reason why we searched a new technology, and this new technology is hydrogen. So, and the reasons why we are searching for that is because of the need in the markets. You see the gas prices, for example, in the European market, which are increasing a lot, and that's why we have to deliver answers for the market and for the customer needs. So that's why we presented last year already the P5E, for example, so that you can connect the solar panels, for example, to the roaster, and that's the reason why we also presented this year, end of September, our hydrogen roaster. So if you'd like to lower your carbon footprint, for example, if you'd like to use more green energy, this is the reason why you can go for the P5E, for example, of P5 hydrogen roaster in the future. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I do remember it does not happen very often, but sometimes we do get customer calls and they are not allowed to have a gas heated roaster at their facility. And then of course we need to offer them some kind of alternative to that.
Exactly.
And just for the people who would like to get more reasons, for more input, why people actually decide on a different roaster than a gas roaster, we would like to show you an interview that we made with Matthias von Labenzer Stolz, and he will just give us his feedback, his ideas, and tells you about his decision for his roaster. So please enjoy the video.
Nice that you can join us in this short video call. We would like to talk a little bit about alternative heating sources, as our roasters, as you especially know, are not only available in the gas version. And yeah, the reason why we picked you is quite obvious. You just received our P5 Series 3 in electrical heating. And of course, we would like to know a little bit more about that. But first of all, who are you? How did the idea of becoming a coffee roaster arise? And yeah, do you have any experience so far, or did you just jump in and then you went? Just let us know a little bit more about yourself.
Okay, thank you, Daniela, for having the opportunity to tell my story in this short little video. I'm very happy to do this and to do this for PROBAT. I think I'm a brand ambassador, and hopefully I will do this in the right way today. Yeah, my name is Matthias. I'm 54 years old, and I jumped into the roastery business in the last years. In the last year, but the dream to start roasting is much more elder. It's a dream I have in the last 15 years, and to work with coffee, it's a story of my childhood, because I grew up in Hamburg, and Hamburg is a city of coffee trading. And if you walk through the Speicherstadt, then you, as a child, I could smell the coffee, and I walked a lot to coffee houses, and I loved the atmosphere from old coffee houses. And so I grew up with loving coffee as a product, and this love never stops. And then there was a point 15 years ago. Firstly, I want to start a roastery, and I bought this old farmhouse. I'm living between Hamburg and Lübeck in the so-called metropole region of Hamburg. So between two big cities, working normally as a marketing man in Hamburg. And I bought this old farmhouse, and then something happens. So I couldn't follow this dream. And then last year I said, you're now in the 50s, and if you want to change something in your life, then this is the right time. And so I go in the cellar and pick up all the materials 15 years ago, and started and get in contact with you guys. And yeah, and then the journey begins. I rebuilt this old co-stable completely, and since mid of October, the P05 is here, and we still made some really good coffees with it. And yeah, we are now in the family and friends phase or time to optimize the receipts and to learn from our customers. And yeah, and we will start the real business end of the year.
Yeah, I can still remember the first few times that we were in touch. You showed me pictures of this farmhouse and what it looked like in the inside, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, that was just
far away."
a lot of things in there." But seeing it now and seeing what came out of that is just amazing, and seeing your so-called Heinrich in there, it's just yeah, he got a beautiful home.
Yes, he got a beautiful home. Yeah.
Yeah, but by the first time that you came to us, or that we had the introduction with the video chat, did you already know that it's going to be an electrical version, or were you at the beginning also focused on the gas heated machines?
I was focused firstly on the gas heated machines.
Mm-hmm.
I was not aware of that there's a strong electrical version. Mm-hmm. Yes, I think the first calls I had with you was about how can you help me in starting this business, and to come into this business, and from a passion-based man to hopefully in a few years a profession-based man. And then I learned that you have two heating systems in this calls, and this makes me, oh, this is a good idea. Yeah. I think it was the second call we had. You talk about the different heating systems, and it surprised me and made me curious.
Yeah, a lot of people still don't really know that we do have the electrical roasters again, because we used to have them quite a while ago as well, but of course with different technique and different way of how the heat was transferred to the coffee beans.
Yeah.
And now what we do is like more or less like with the gas roaster, we heat up air, we send the air through the product, and therewith we bring the energy to the product. And I think I pointed out quite well the fact that the electrical machine was more or less doing the same like what the gas machine was doing, because I can remember by the time you came for training,
yep. in
We
November.
actually, yeah, actually,
1 year ago.
Oh, God, it's all right. It's
Yes.
time just flies. But then I was showing you the difference between the gas and the electrical version, and I think that was the moment when it actually really hits you that it will be actually no difference if you use the gas or the electrical heated version in terms of how the energy is transferred to the bean.
Yeah, absolutely right. I was inspired of the idea of really sustainable and climate-friendly roasting because of abandoning fossil fuels and working with electricity from renewable energy sources like wind and water. And so very fast the idea came up, okay, my energy supplier gives me green electricity, so I can say I'm powered. Heinrich is powered by the energy from wind and water and sun. But next year we are planning on our barn to have a big photovoltaic panels and to produce our own energy. And
Okay, cool.
So then in the future, we will not only using sustainable energy produced or delivered by the regional electric companies, the supplier. It's also our own energy we will produce next year.
This is even better. I mean, it's like when people start to plan the roasting business, and especially like in a location like yours, you will have to make the decision: do I want to have the gas bottles inside, outside? Do I probably want to have a gas pipe built to the house? And not in all the cases this is possible. So of course here the idea of having an electrical heated machine makes it extremely simple to not have all the effort to put the pipe there, to put an extra outside tank or whatever you would need to have enough gas. So, and then if you say you actually on planning on the photovoltaic, it's like you produce your own energy, you have your own coffee, you have the everything is kind of a, people can really say where it comes from and that all your passion goes into that final product. And this is also giving you an extra point on top besides producing the manufactured coffee, besides having that nice ambience all around. You can actually say, well, everybody, I'm not using fossil fuels. I'm having my green power, and I'm even producing it myself. Maybe not all of it, because I might be hard to have all of the power that the machine needs being produced by the photovoltaic, but still you can add the green power that you get from your supplier. So also here, it just makes the whole thing like, it makes the story round, you know. It's like really cool. Very nice.
This is the idea, and until it's more actually a problem of getting all the informations and all the cost estimates from all the craftsmen, as all you know. Otherwise, we should have it, this photovoltaic system. But it will come next year, and yes, you're absolutely right. It's something makes us different from the others. My competition is because we are in a village between two cities. I'm not competing with any other specialty roastery. I'm more focused on giving something back to the region where I live, because here a lot of people working in Lübeck and Hamburg, but when they are at home, there's only a small offering of nice shops and offers. So I give something back to them, and there's a big need for good coffee. And the reactions are fantastic, and they said yes, but it must be price worthy. And this is the second idea, because after the war in the Ukraine and the rising up of the energy costs, it's the idea of electric heating is for me also not a guarantee, but a decision for price stability and security of supply of energy. So this is both, and that perhaps makes me or gives me in a situation that I can offer my customers a coffee very price worthy, but on a high quality. And I'm not so dependent on how the energy it's very volatile, the market, and so I'm not so depending on this.
Yeah, true. No, pretty cool idea. And also, I mean, I know it was just a short moment that you have been roasting with the gas machine, but if we talk about the quality and the good coffee and of course bringing a good product to your customers, did you feel did you feel any difference so far roasting on the gas or roasting on the electricity heated machine?
I couldn't believe it. I stand here with some guys who are in the roasting business, and they said, this is a very powerful machine, and you have really more to stop the power and not to raise it up. 5 kilo inside, and you have the same time like on the electric, like on a gas roaster, a gas heated roaster. And what is really not surprising, but makes us happy, you can really dose the electric energy, and it's like you can change it, and you see it in the rise of rate or in bean temperature. It changes immediately. It's very fast, and on the other side, very powerful. So I have not the idea that it was a wrong decision. No, I'm totally convinced with this heating system. It's very strong and very good to manage and to tune.
Yeah, I remember by the time you had the idea for the first time that you wanted to start a roastery, we still had the old electrical systems.
Yeah.
And I remember that the first time we spoke about having a new electricity machine, it was like, But I think by the time you have been with us, you were, I guess, completely overwhelmed, and there were no more doubts that it will be your machine, right? So.
No, when I roasted in Emmerich on your machine, it was totally clear. There's no difference between the gas heating and the electric system in case of power, in tunement, and so on.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, well, it's like when we talk about the coffee roasting, I know that you are still quite at your beginning, but I also already know that you have tried out a few recipes, and I guess things are going well, because I just see you in front of me with a bright smile on your face. So
yes,
assuming the recipe transfer, or even when you talk to other roaster people, the idea of the temperature values, and of course this needs to be taken away from, like with every other system, but in terms of time, in terms of color, this should be very easily transferable for you as well as for everybody else.
Totally. It's no difference between it, really no difference. And we made some really nice coffees for filter of a French press, and running very good, having more power, a longer time for the espresso blends. Fantastic. We now had 4 different types of coffee produced, so pea berries. We have pea berry roasted, which is not so easy, but no problems with it. A nice Brazil, Guatemala, Rwanda, Robusta. Very nice, and really good results, and no difference. I trust the machine. I talked to somebody from Switzerland, a roaster, and he gave me the idea of trust the machine. And this machine I can trust because it's powerful, good to tune, good to use.
Perfect.
I miss nothing, and I'm not paid for this. I'm not paid to say this. I'm really convinced. I'm really convinced with this machine, and so
perfect. Very good. Well, Matthias, with this, I would like to thank you again, and wish you all the time good luck. You know who to turn to whenever there should be anything, and we are very happy that you're so happy with the roaster, and besides choosing the electrical machine where a lot of people still have doubts, you gave us a very positive insight on how you feel comfortable with it. Thank you very much, and
thank you.
Hopefully see you soon.
I'm very proud to be here in your pop-up story, and it was a pleasure. Thank you, Daniela.
Thank you again. See you later.
Well, thank you again, Matthias, for this great interview. And I guess everybody could see how happy you are with the decision for the P5E. But of course, now the question is, what happens with the people who would like to have a little bit more capacity, a little bit bigger roaster?
Yes, exactly. Like I already said, last year we presented the P5E, and this is very flexible, and compared to the gas version, it is almost the same flexibility. And there will be in future a P12E also, which is currently in the prototype phase. And this one will be available at the very beginning of next year. And my question to Dietmar would be, what do you think? What is your experience? Is the P12E as flexible as the P5E compared to the gas version? What do you think?
Yes, it is indeed. So I made last week a lot of trials on the new P12E, and the performance is very like the gas heated version, and the same appearance in principle, the system like shown on the P5E.
Okay, that sounds really nice. So when you compare the gas roasted, the gas roast curves to the P12E roasted curves, for example, you almost have the same performance.
Yes, I'm very convinced that this is exactly the same, and you can easily double the profile via the automatic roasting modus, and very good. Cool. So no doubts on the execution of this P12E.
Cool. What is the difference between the P12E, for example, and the P5E? What do we need to achieve the same roasting profiles as the gas versions for the electrical versions?
Yeah, we need, in principle, we need the same adaptation of the energy source to the roaster, let's say. So if we only change the burner, but keep the same arrangement, the connecting to the roaster chamber, then we have also the same performance, which is then shown in the ability to copy these profiles.
Okay. Can we have a little bit closer look to the technical data?
Yeah, the technical data is for the P12E, for sure the capacity is higher as a P5E for sure. But the nominal capacity of the burner is the same. So we have a 28 kW for the gas heated version of a P12 roaster, and we have the same amount for the electrical heated burner.
Okay.
Yeah? So we also talk about 28 kWs, and for sure due to that the power intake is for sure higher. And for this reason, for sure, the safety fuse needs then to be as well higher. Yeah? So for the safety reason. And that's for sure a limiting factor for these electrical heated roasters.
Okay, and that's also why it is a little bit difficult for example, for a P25E, right?
Yes,
I suppose.
That's exactly the bottleneck, let's say.
Okay.
Because the theoretical ability or performance should be there, but you have to keep an eye on the safety and the power intake of such huge capacities.
Okay, and in fact there are no heating elements, for example, for the P25E, which would be which would make sense cost-wise. So it is very, very expensive.
Yes.
So for this roaster size, we would more or less recommend to go for P25 hydrogen in future.
Yes, if you look from the emission rate perspective, yes, then for sure.
Okay, so that would make much more sense.
Yes.
Okay, and when we have a closer look on the batch size of the P12 itself, it is also that flexible like the gas version.
Yes.
For the gas version, we have from 1 to 15 kilograms, so that is more or less completely the same.
Exactly the same. Okay. No problems there. I also checked this 1 kg batch. Very good. Okay. So no problems. It's exactly the same.
That's pretty cool. And then we launched our P5 hydrogen roaster. And when we compare the P5 hydrogen to the P5 gas version, also the P5 electrical version, is there any difference, or would you say no? It is also this one is completely the same performance like gas and the electrical version.
So the performance is independent of the heat source. Yeah, they are exactly the same. Therefore, I have also done some measurements and controls, and then you can see at the diagram 3 curves exactly a copy one of each other. So the test was to create a profile on a gas heated machine, then copy this profile into the recipe administration of the gas of the hydrogen and electrical heated roaster, and copy them via the automatic, and that was perfectly matched, as you can see on the curves.
This was actually what we did for the connecting markets,
yes,
where we had people tasting the coffees
in advance.
And I do remember there was one person I was speaking to, and this person told me, yeah, but I cannot taste the difference. Yeah, exactly. This is what we want. There should not be a difference no matter what heating source we use, because what we do is we heat up the air. The air is our transportation medium for the energy, and how we do it actually should not have an impact on the taste of the coffee. And then by the time we were talking, oh yeah, of course, this is smart. Yeah, this is why we do it actually. So it was good to see the curves and to actually see that in the roasting itself there is no difference, and this is exactly what we want, what we are looking for, so that even if people probably have a gas version and they want to later change because maybe they skip the step of having the 12 kilo roaster and they want to go to the 25, there's no problem, because no matter if you use gas, electricity or hydrogen, you can just copy the recipe and just transport it to the other machine and then just go. Yeah, perfect, really nice. But if I decide for a hydrogen roaster, I'm a roaster and I now say, okay, I want to be all modern and I want to do that, I want to be not depending on the gas anymore. How do I do it? Where do I get the hydrogen from? Where do I and how do I store it? And is there certain things that I need to pay attention to compared to my gas roaster? So can you just explain a little bit more how actually can I get prepared as a roaster if I decide that I want to use a hydrogen roaster?
Yes, it's regarding the storage. We recommend to have the storage in a different room, not in the same place.
Or even outside, right?
The best would be the best is outside, and I think also recommendable is that you use a bundle, a bundle of gas bottles that are connected one to each other, and that it can switch the bottles automatically. That's easily feasible, and and that is then very easy. And apart from, or compared to a natural gas system, it's also gas. Yeah, you have to. So the pipes need to be tight and gas tight and all this stuff. But it is. It's not that tricky.
Okay. But I do remember when we had the trials and I was asking you about the consumption of the gas, I remember that you said that we need more hydrogen in volume compared to normal gas, right?
Yeah, this is linked to the different heating value of hydrogen. So hydrogen has a heating value of 3.0 kilowatts per cubic meter, where natural gas roughly has around 10 kilowatts per cubic meter. So we're talking about if you want to reach the same capacity for the burner, you have to provide roughly 3 times more gas volume in that moment when you switch to hydrogen, for sure. Yeah.
And just also for our audience, if you might have questions concerning all of this, what Dietmar was just explaining, or what Julian is also talking about, just of course feel free to send all your questions into the chat. Don't wait until the end of the session, just let us know about your concerns, your opinions, and then we're going to read them out and just answer all your questions, okay? Getting back to me being the roaster, and I'm roasting on gas so far. Is there anything, when I open up my roaster now, I do see my nice gas flame. How will that be when I open up my hydrogen roaster.
When you open up your hydrogen roaster, then you will not see any flame, because it's a flameless combustion.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why you wouldn't sense anything. Maybe you can recognize that the pad where air and the gas is mixtured, that you can see some glimming of particles or whatsoever, but not more. You do not really see a flame.
Okay.
That's also the reason why we need a UV cell to check whether the flame is on or not.
Okay.
It's kind of detection sensor, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And in terms of safety, when I store my bottles outside, do they need to be in a locked cage? Do they need to have some certain, let's say, surroundings so that nobody can accidentally just...
Yeah, that would be wise.
Yeah.
That would be wise to do.
Okay.
It's similar as another gas storage or whatsoever. Yeah? So you have to ensure that no truck can hit or forklifter can hit the gas bottles for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Much more explosive than the normal gas bottle, or?
Yes, but if you put a fence on it, then it would be great. Yeah?
It would be okay.
And locked.
Yeah, but that's not.
But
a
that's
big,
the normal
that's not a big
way.
trouble, so
Yeah, no,
yeah,
that's not a big difference or
Yeah.
a big issue on that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, cool. And as for the rest, you just said I can do whatever I do with my normal gas heated roaster. That would be already
Yes.
amazing, because then I can just take all of my ideas that I have in terms of settings, in terms of roasting times, in terms of roasting color, and I just do the same.
You can do it in exactly the same way.
Yep.
Yeah, you can also maybe you have an already existing natural gas-fired burner, then you can copy your recipe administration and copy it to the hydrogen roaster, and then you can run in automatic modes, and then you will achieve the same result.
Yeah. Yeah, we had the same down here with the electrical heated roaster. There were people down here and they said if they would not have known that it's an electrical heated roaster, then just in terms of the performance, you would not believe that it is electrical heated. So they were quite surprised.
Yeah, that's depending on the design, let's say. Yeah, that's due to the design. Because usually when people think about electrical heating, they think about their houses and think, okay, it is or it's not quick if you make a change and something like this. But for sure, we have here a different system. We have an air blower which is electrically heated, and that's it. Yeah? So we directly pour the heat and also the energy to the roast chamber, like we do on a natural gas fired or hydrogen. Yeah. So no problem.
Yeah. So the idea behind is the same. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I do remember the session that we had on the electrical heated roaster, and we started with the overboiling milk that you just could not stop. But then, of course, this is not what we do anymore. So afterwards, we showed the principle with a hair blower, which is just in terms of idea more or less the same. So, and I thought that's quite a nice idea to explain to people how it actually works. But then again, on the hydrogen, that would be again also something which we need to show people. You need to open it up and see, here, look, there's no flame.
as we've done on this connecting markets.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. And when can we expect the hydrogen roasters to be ready and on the market? And when can people start ordering it?
The P5 hydrogen and Q1. And there will be more hydrogen roasters in future. So we will also offer in future P12 hydrogen and also the P25 hydrogen. That's what I already explained as when we talked about P25E versus P25 hydrogen. So the P12 hydrogen will be available in Q2, and the P25 hydrogen at the end of the year 2023.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
And they will have, of course, the same, like design-wise, what we already know from the 5.
This is, I think, pretty smart, because we use almost the same roaster, and the roaster looks it doesn't matter if you use the gas version, the electrical, or the hydrogen version. Yeah. The roaster looks the same, and we can use the same platform, and we just change the heating device. So that's amazing. That's pretty cool. Smart, I think. Yeah.
And for the hydrogen, will it be also the same that we cannot play with the airflow as with the electrical heated roaster, as we do need to have a certain negative pressure? Or is that different in a hydrogen roaster again?
No, it's similar to the electrified roaster. Okay,
good. Yeah, just to make sure that when we talk to customers that we tell them, okay, this option is still only available for the gas roasters, as otherwise it will not work with the heating device.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Pretty nice.
Yes. but I think we got some questions in advance, right?
I just checked. There's Marco who sent in a question. Will there be upgrades available to turn a natural gas-based Series 3 into a hydrogen one? So can I make my Series 3 gas roaster into a hydrogen heated roaster?
In general, it is possible. Okay. So this isn't, as I already explained, you have more or less, or you have completely the same roaster, you just have to switch the heating device. So we will, that's what I forgot to mention, we will also offer in future packages when you would like to, for example, go for the hydrogen version, then you can switch your gas version to the hydrogen version. That's possible, and that will be possible not just for the Series 3, also for Series 2, because we are using the same heating elements. So that is possible, yes. Yeah.
So that's pretty nice, so that people can actually keep the roaster and just need to exchange the heating source. Yeah, perfect, cool. This is so far the only questions that I see in the chat, but of course we did have questions being sent in before, as we did have a raffle going on, and of course we would like to read out loud those questions and get an answer to that. So I need to check on my paper because I cannot, you see them as well, cannot all keep them in mind. So we already spoke about when will we see electrical heated roasters in 15 kg and more capacity.
Yes.
So, well, already answered, unfortunately, we won't see them.
Yeah, but we will see, of course, at the very beginning of next year, P12E. And P12E is flexible, so you can also roast batch size, for example, 15 kilograms. That's possible, so that's not a problem.
So 15 can be reached, but the plus will then be...
it's really difficult. So we would go for, or we would recommend to go for a P25 hydrogen, for example.
Yeah.
So that's compared to the prices of the electrical heating element, it's much less, so that's much better. And then you could go for a P25 hydrogen instead. So I think that would make much more sense. And that will be available, as I already said, at the end of next year.
Yeah. And there's also a question which just came in, but I think this was also answered already. What about gas to electric? Was in the chat. It's not only gas to hydrogen, gas to electric.
It's a bigger effort.
Okay.
Yeah, but because then also the electrical cabinet needs to be restored, let's say. So you need a completely different hardware. So that's a bigger issue, let's say.
Okay, so you would probably rather say sell the gas version and get a new one. Yeah,
that would be better.
Probably. Okay, let's go into the questions that have been sent in. Now there's one that adds actually 3 questions in one paragraph. What is the energy consumption of an equivalent electric roaster versus an existing gas roaster?
Slightly the same. Electrical, slightly less. Then we're talking about 10% of what.
Okay.
Because heat transfer to the bean is slightly different, but very small.
Okay.
So you can say 5 to 10% less, not more, less. But
for the electrical roaster. Okay, then part number 2 of this question. Considering that hydrogen is not going to be easily accessible for most locations, green electricity seems to be the most likely cleaner alternative.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
So if you decide, even in the case it is actually not green, but you purchase an electrified roaster, then you can, even in the future, then you can make it green, let's say.
Yeah.
Yeah? So
Yeah.
you have the option. Yeah?
This is what,
Yes.
what Matthias is doing now. He has the supplier for his power is already delivering green power to him.
Oh, okay.
And by a little later, he is going to install the
Photovoltaic.
photovoltaic. Thank you. Exactly. That was the word I was looking for. And so he can get his own green power in combination, of course, with the power he
Yeah,
gets.
that's
So
pretty
that's-
cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Pretty cool.
And the last part of this question is, will the drum and heat design be drastically different? No, not at all.
Because we want to achieve the same performance.
Yeah. And it's what we just said. We heat up the air, and the air is still going the same way from the back through the drum, and then go back out. And we need the energy coming from the hot air. So here we have the same. The drum is the same. The shovel system is the same. All is the same.
Exactly.
Perfect. Cool. Yeah, next question from Tim was already answered. Will it be possible to convert existing gas roasters to hydrogen?
Yep.
Depending on how old existing is. Yes.
Yep. Yep.
Let's move on. Will hydrogen need similar storage to gas and operate in the power in the roaster like gas? We already talked about that before. Or I have a different storage need. Yeah, a little bit of what we just said. Now my gas bottle can be inside the room, and my pipe is inside the room, but for the other one would be better. I think it's also probably local restrictions depending on where you are and who you talk to.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And also what is available for the hydrogen.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you have gas bottles filled with 200 bars or 300 bars, it's a difference regarding the volume to store, for sure.
Yeah.
So that depends on.
It's also something that needs to become a little bit more clear in the future, as by now hydrogen, I don't know how difficult it actually is for me to just go somewhere and buy it.
No, not. I've experienced no big differences compared to a propane gas bottle or whatsoever.
Oh, that's cool.
Anyhow, you have to be careful with gases, and that's it. That's the whole story.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, perfect then. Yeah, we already talked about this one as well. Which machines will feature the hydrogen burner in 2023? This is the question we just answered already.
Yeah, the complete shop roasters. So from P5 to P25 we will offer next year.
Perfect.
Yeah.
How would an electric roaster perform in terms of timely responsiveness of heat adjustments in comparison to adjusting a gas flame? Well,
no, no problem.
I think that the two of us, we can answer this question quite easily, because we have roasted on this roaster now quite often. And I have to say, I was very surprised how flexible and fast it is. And of course, what I always use is my rate of rise. How quick is it actually adjusting as soon as I make an adjustment to my heating source? And in the beginning, I was very skeptical as usual.
I remember.
But then actually seeing the performance and getting the feeling that the electrical heated roaster is even quicker and faster than the gas heated one, was like, okay, I guess I changed my preferences now when I'm roasting. So
I would do the same. If I had the choice, I would go for an electric.
Yeah, me too. So makes a lot of things more easy to compare to the gas roaster.
It completely changed the mindset, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, especially
cool.
when you remember the really very old electrical heated roasters we had. And then now seeing what actually came out of it and what we do now, it's a huge difference. And I think this is still what a lot of people don't have in mind by now, that it's completely different when talking electrical heated roasting today than
But it's easy. They can visit us and we can show them.
just try it out. Yeah, exactly.
It's not a problem.
Exactly.
So you're welcome.
This is the reason why we have both of them next to each other, so that you can just switch back and forth.
Yeah, for sure.
And this brings us already to the last standing questions. Again, how will batch times differ from natural gas to electric to achieve the most similar roast between the two sources?
No difference.
Exactly. Also here, we just need to reach the same time, the same color to get our same taste, and there is no difference in between the roasts, and this was actually what we were aiming for. So
Yes.
yeah, doing the same roast on no matter roaster, and people cannot say which roaster it actually was. That's pretty cool. And then there's a question: when will the electrical machine be ready for the North American market?
So the P5 already launched. So if you have any questions, please ask the colleagues in America, of course. And the P12E will follow also in Q1. So German and European market will be the first, and Q1 will be American market as well. So the P12E will be also available American market in Q1 next year.
But
so
here the best will be
pretty
to
soon.
just
Pretty soon.
contact the salespeople in the US, and then they know about it. Well, yeah. We answered all the sending questions, and congratulations, guys. You won yourself a nice Mir mug. So there we go. Thank you for the questions. And let me just check our chat again. There is no more here, and there's no more there, and I think there's none in LinkedIn. So yeah, just covering the questions, we would be good from my side. Is there anything more you would like to mention? What we need to tell our big PROBAT family, or almost big PROBAT family to be? Any more exciting news? I think it was exciting enough, right?
Yeah. That's pretty cool technology, to be honest, for next year.
True.
So I think that should be enough.
Yeah.
For the moment.
For the moment, yeah. We'll see what the future brings.
Yes.
So yeah, with this, I would say we're at the end of our last pop-up session for 2022, which brings us to wishing everybody a Merry Christmas. And of course, a Happy New Year. And we will be ready for you next year, and looking forward to a lot of nice topics to come. If you think of something, also let us know, and we can talk about this as well. Thank you for being here with me today. And of course, thank you as well to our technicians behind the camera. And yeah, it was great to have you all here, and see you next year.